it!
Are you paying attention to what the hell I'm telling you?
This guy kidnapped me. He's making me fish. Here's one.
The New American Sportsman, presented by Miller High Life.
Maine's mid-coast is a kaleidoscope of colors, textured with clapboard homes and quaint, quiet, out-of-the-way villages. The sights and sounds of lobster fishermen bringing in their daily catch are part of daily life. And alongside the hardy vessels and rocky shores, rolling fields and hilly horizons host the most adventurous outdoor spirit. Tom Ackerman calls this little slice of Americana home. A seasoned outdoorsman with an eagerness to share his passion, Tom will play host and guide for today's striped bass fishing adventure.
Maine's just a wonderful place filled with wonderful people. Great opportunities if you like the outdoors. This is where I live, this is where I've raised my family, this is where I've worked, and maybe most importantly, this is where I play. My real passion in life is helping people enjoy the outdoors, and I think the quality of my life is better for it. And my message to folks is, hey, I think you'd find the same thing, and I can help you. There's just something really rewarding for me to be part of that and to kind of pass on that baton from one generation to the next. I think that's really important.
A quick launch near the lower Kennebec River, and Tom is set for a long-awaited reunion with old pal and fishing buddy, Coach Bobby Knight.
You know, it's been about 4 years since I saw Coach, and I'm thinking back on the last time that we were together. It was right when he was going through that transition. It was, in fact, we were together when he lost his job, got fired from Indiana. We've stayed in touch since then, but we haven't fished and we haven't seen each other face to face. So I'm really looking forward to seeing him again. I think this is going to be an emotional but a good reunion.
I can't tell you how good it is to see you. Jesus, it's good to see you.
Also joining the group, legendary Boston Celtic and Coach Knight's best friend, John Hondo Havlicek. Together, they'll comb these rocky shores for a different treasure.
Well, you know, I really was fortunate as a youngster because my dad introduced me to both fishing and hunting, and that kind of got me started on what I guess has become kind of a lifelong avocation, and that's been fly fishing.
Making use of the remaining daylight, Tom and Coach Knight decide to scout a few spots.
All right, let's go find some fish. I think striped bass have got everything you're looking for in a game fish. They're strong, they're powerful. I think a lot of times, given a choice between catching striped bass and bluefish, most guys will choose the striped bass because they make you work a little bit harder. So when you catch a good striper, it's something that's just very rewarding.
Here's one.
I'll be a son of a gun.
One of the great things that's happened to me is that my wife Karen likes to fly fish, and she's pretty good at it. So as a family, we have a lot of opportunities to do things together, and I don't think there's anything that we have available to us in America that provides more enjoyment for families than some form of outdoor activity.
Does he know he's small?
No, he knows he's tough. This fish could guard a lot of fish. He's a little bigger than I think he is.
And he's got an attitude, doesn't he?
Yeah, guard people.
The pure enjoyment of saying, okay, let's go fishing. Now we know we're going to have some fun, but let's figure out how we can catch some fish when we get there. It's been a tremendous attraction for my attention over a long period of time.
There. There you go.
He's a fish.
It's a fish. That's what we've been looking for. Well done. We've been looking for this guy. All right. Good. Night. Let's eat.
After a successful scouting trip, the group reconvenes at Sebasco Harbor Resort for a traditional Maine lobster feast. Woven into the fabric of Maine's culture, this cold water delicacy is no doubt America's favorite crustacean and the perfect way to gather as friends to discuss the adventure that lies ahead. Next on the New American Sportsman.
This guy kidnapped me. He's making me fish. Call 911. I want to arrest this guy.
Look at that eyesore. That litter might as well be a shove to the elbow of a billiards player. A man picks up after himself. And, when called upon, after others. After all, the high life is a clean game. No slop.
Sorry, girl, not this trip.
When you plan a special getaway, Enterprise Rent-A-Car will pick you up free and get you going in style.
Hey, nice ride, cowboy.
Thank you, ma'am.
Pick Enterprise. We'll pick you up.
Kodiak 450 automatic 4x4 from Yamaha. Now get a $400 worn winch for just $69.95 on select models.
The world's foremost outfitter for hunting, fishing, and outdoor gear. Call us toll-free or shop online.
Sorry, girl, not this trip.
When you plan a special getaway, Enterprise Rent-A-Car will pick you up free and get you going in style.
Hey, nice ride, cowboy.
Thank you, ma'am.
Pick Enterprise. We'll pick you up.
ESPN2's presentation of The New American Sportsman is brought to you by Miller High Life. To live simply, proudly, boldly, manly. This is the High Life.
Dawn breaks on Maine's mid-coast. Two old college teammates, Coach Knight and John Havlicek, reach the dock early to check and square their gear. They'll go in separate boats to cover more water. Host Tom Ackerman is again Coach Knight's guide for the day.
That's right where we're going to start right where we left off now. Look at John in that yellow suit. He throws a nice line. He's been at it for a while. Oh, you just had a follow.
I know, and I got it.
Oh, good. Excellent. That's cool. See, it's, you know what, Coach? Here's a lesson in life. It's always too soon to quit, isn't it?
That's right. That's right. This isn't a bad fish either.
No, you're making them look awful big. I know that.
Oh,
there are no bad
little
fish.
small
It's just
enough,
some that-
thought.
That's all right. But you hooked him close to the boat. He had a tank full of gas when he took off. You know, all right, hold on. Boy. There we go. Coach, you want the honors?
Yes, I like
got
it.
him?
Yeah, and you know, you have fun with a release like this, trying to put it back in as though it's a diver. But you know, there's a real practical thing to it because this is the kind of release that gets a fish going quickly.
Right.
It hits that water and it just moves, and you can see it every time.
You know, for all of those guys that come out on the boat and say, hey, I don't care if I catch fish, I just love being out there. Not everybody thinks that way. And I know for Coach, as it is for most serious anglers, you got to feel a tug on the line. You have to have some success. And we get into those fish early, and that kind of took the pressure off, and we could kick back and enjoy not only each other's company, but the fishing and the surrounding.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.
Take a bow.
Thank you.
99, 99, 98, 99.
9-8! 9-8!
That's the French.
How the hell can you give me 9-8 on that?
That's the French judge. I got to know Bob as he really is. And folks that are critical of Bob Knight, I just stop them right in mid-sentence. I said, listen, if you knew what I knew about Coach Knight, you wouldn't say that.
Born in the small town of Orville, Ohio, Robert Montgomery Knight grew up a passionate sportsman. He earned 10 letters in 3 sports at Ohio State University. After graduating, Knight joined the Army and started his coaching career at West Point. After 5 successful years of coaching, Coach Knight was thrust into the spotlight at Indiana University. He prided himself on a clean program. But with success came controversy and criticism by the media. In September 2000, Knight was abruptly fired from Indiana. And after a year, he became the head coach at Texas Tech, where he promptly led the school to a 23-9 season. Today, he ranks 4th all-time in total victories.
I mean, it's just neat spending time with you guys, like I said, and have an opportunity to
Well,
fish.
I've never been around controversy. I mean, why don't you want me to talk a little bit about the absence of controversy?
I want to hear about the absence of controversy from you, Coach Knight. What do you attribute that to?
Well, you know, my wife has a great thing. Karen has a great thing on the refrigerator. It's a picture of a horse laying on the ground with the jockey on top, and she's written under it, the horse is dead, get off.
Yeah.
And I've ridden a lot of dead horses. Sometimes I enjoy riding those dead horses.
Yeah.
Sometimes you have to.
Yeah, right, right.
I think we're going to have to change
I think we have to do a
flies.
fly change and do it quick.
Boy, you have been great. I hate to pass you up, but you know you haven't been doing good. You got to put your ass on the bench here. You had a great first half, but you haven't been as good in the second half as you got to be. And I think we need a guy that's maybe not as big and strong as you are, but probably a little quicker than you are out there. Once you sit here on the bench and see what happens. It's really important that you're not sitting here watching cheerleaders. You make sure that when the time comes, you're ready. We got to get the ball back. Now, make sure are you paying attention to what the hell I'm telling you? Well, look here when I'm talking to you. All right, now let's make damn sure that you're out there really getting the job done, all right? Okay, that's what I like.
That rock, see that floating weed over there along that rock? Well, that just looks good out there.
Yeah.
Ooh, there you go. There you go.
Klauser.
Klauser, yowzer, yowzer, yowzer. Yowzer. Ooh.
That's a little bigger,
It
looked
is.
like.
He looked bigger, didn't he? Did you see the flash?
Yeah.
And you know, again, it was a real slow retrieve. Real slow. They're right up on this feet. Coach, I think we have solved the riddle here, at least for now.
Okay, now that's the way to work. That's the way to get in there and guard that guy. You don't let him get the ball, he can't score. Let's go back and get it again. There's one.
All right.
Slow retrieve, Tom.
Yep, that's the key.
Well, this one was pretty close in.
Yep. You got him?
Yeah.
All right. A double. I think that brings us to 30 or so, doesn't it? 31?
Yeah.
Oh.
Might even be 32.
32? I've lost count. There we go. Did you get him, Coach?
Yeah.
Boy, they're like carbon copies of each other, aren't they? Look at here. Yeah,
I think that one that you got is a little bit. Come on, just get your thumb in there and hold that sucker.
there you go. Yeah, they're pretty
Yours
close.
a little bigger.
A little bit bigger. A little bit bigger. But what's an inch or two among friends? Awesome, Coach.
Yes! Next on the new American Sportsman.
Are you interested in getting involved in the sport of fly fishing, but you're intimidated because it's so technical? Well, coming up, we're going to break it down in a little Fly Fishing 101.
Welcome to Ranger Country, where the new redesigned Polaris Ranger outruns, outcarries, outhauls, outpulls, and outrides every utility vehicle out there. The new Polaris Ranger, the hardest working, smoothest riding off-road utility vehicle you can buy.
For over 50 years, we've made our business the business end of your chainsaw. We build more cutting chain than anyone. World-class chain, supplied to more chainsaw manufacturers. You've done more jobs, trusted on more saws of every size, in every situation. Oregon, legendary cutting gear.
On DVD.
All I want to do is race, Daddy. That's all I want.
What about us, huh?
Maybe I'm doing this for us.
Now there's the kid to watch.
We don't ain't the guy with the fastest car, just the one who refuses to lose.
ESPN's original motion picture, 3, starring Barry Pepper as Dale Earnhardt. With over 5 hours of Dale Earnhardt interviews and races.
Good boy, go! Dale Earnhardt!
3.
You know, son, they can't put it in you. They can't take it out.
Own the 2-disc collector's edition December 14th.
Bixby, we're giving you one last shot at Bixby Auto Ranch. Escape from your current loan or lease for just $29 down and $29 a month. Bixby, through Monday night, we're giving you one last shot at Bixby Auto Ranch, 153rd Memorial in Bixby. Call 366-7575 for details.
Don't take a chance on Bixby Auto Ranch.
Is the season to be hunting. But before you head out to the great outdoors, head into the Hunter's Headquarters. Sports World and Green Country Outdoorsmen can always choose from the largest selection of federal shotgun and rifle ammunition. And right now, take advantage of special prices on CCI, estate, and federal ammo. Before you head out, head in to the Hunter's Headquarters, Sports World, east of Sheridan on 41st Street.
Instant Access, presented by Miller High Life.
I absolutely love fly fishing. Once you've caught your first fish on a fly rod, it's hard to go back to traditional tackle because it's so sporty and so graceful. Some people find it intimidating and a little too technical, but it doesn't have to be. Let me explain a couple of the basics to you. Rods go from, say, 1, the smallest rods for the smallest fish, all the way up to size 14 for big saltwater fish. Flies are pretty fascinating. They imitate just about anything that a fish will eat in the wild. They go from super tiny, like a size 20 blue wing olive, all the way up to big, like this is a beautiful Clouser minnow right here. This is size 2, which actually refers to the size of the hook. And there's a big range in what flies look like and the way that they work. Everything from this fly, which is made to look like a frog, all the way down to this blue wing olive, which is a tiny little fly that will actually catch a huge fish.
We continue from Maine's Mid-Coast with guests Bobby Knight and his longtime friend, John Havlicek.
How can you be in Texas and not get on a horse?
Just say no.
Just
say,
no.
get that son of a bitch away from me.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Okay, did you see what Clouser did? Now, I told you when you're out there that you had to play him a lot tougher than you were. Clouser's all over him. Clouser wouldn't let him get the ball. Clouser's doing a hell of a job. Now, you got to pay attention if you want to get back in here.
One of the things I love about him is the same intensity that he brings to the basketball court, he brings to the fishing scene. And he would rather fish than eat. You on?
There's a fish.
All right. All right. All right, Coach. Way to go.
Just a little one.
Yeah, that's all right. We'll take him. Got him. There we go. I usually am the one that cries uncle before he does and said, what do you say we go get a bite to eat? He said, heck, I can eat in Lubbock, Texas. He said, I came here to fish, and he will wear me out. He's 15 years older than me, and he wears me out every time we get together.
One of the great things about fishing is that you fish where you're fishing, and you can eat lunch in Lubbock, Texas. Like I could eat 3 lunches before I came out here. I wouldn't eat any lunch. We just fish. I mean, lunch is no great experience. That's a bigger one, I think. Maybe not. Boy, when he hit it hard.
Yeah, he did, didn't he?
They're so strong, no, I can't tell.
Let's see. There we go. Got him. Thanks, Coach.
Meanwhile, in an adjacent bay, Hondo and his guide, Mike Augat, have found a nice pot of fish and are relishing in their own success.
That one got a little more girth to it, I think, than some of those others. Well, maybe not. Pretty fish. What is it about guiding in Maine that's special?
It's pretty stringent in terms of the process you have to go through. You have to go through a written exam, then you go through an oral board, and not everyone passes it. You need that and also a Coast Guard license to guide here in Maine. You need to be a Coast Guard captain. But guiding on the Maine coast, this is one of my favorite things to do.
Well, it's a 100-year tradition, a very proud tradition, and to be part of that is something important. And there are guides amongst us today who carry that same level of respect, and that's what it's all about to me. Just showing people what you know and take part of every day. It's an incredible honor.
The 8 greatest words in the history of the English language are America, America. God shed his grace on thee. And when you're out here like this, my boy Thomas, it's easy to understand why those words were written.
Next on the New American Sportsman.
There you go. You on, Coach?
There we go.
All right, all right, all right.
If anyone's earned his Miller time tonight, it's the man in the red suit. But let's not jump the gun. He's got to navigate a vehicle. Sorry, Père Noël, it's cow juice for you. As for you, well, bring on the sugar plum fairies.
The world's foremost outfitter for hunting, fishing, and outdoor gear. Call us toll-free or shop online.
Kodiak 450 automatic 4x4 from Yamaha. Now get a $400 worn winch for just $69.95 on select models.
ESPN2's presentation of The New American Sportsman is brought to you by Miller High Life. To live simply, proudly, boldly, manly. This is the High Life.
So when it comes to casting, or the presentation of the fly, the name of the game is just trying to make it look like what the fly is imitating. You want the fly to move in the water, the way a bait fish would move, or the way a fly would move. And a lot of that has to do with how fast the retrieval is. There we go. It's a brim! Some people say, oh, fly fishing is so artful, I just love it. I just be happy out there all day long casting. Nah, catching fish.
We return from coastal Maine, where the day starts early and is cranked into motion on the backs of hardy souls. The damp morning air is filled with the sounds and smells of lobster fishermen preparing for the day's catch. This is a special place, as unique as the relationship forged by two best friends, John Havlicek and Bobby Knight, two kids from Ohio, united by the camaraderie found exclusively in the outdoors.
Hey, Coach, what was it like to fish with Ted Williams?
He was my favorite baseball player. A little bit of it might have been his relationship with the press, although I had not yet developed a relationship with the press. And one of his great goals, as he often said in his playing days, was to be able to walk down the street and hear people say, there goes the greatest hitter that ever lived. And he might very well have been the best fly fisherman, too.
Yeah.
I still have two of my prized possessions are two flies that he tied for me.
Wow, that's special.
Respect and reward, shaped by the love of sport and shared between friends.
It goes beyond being a friend, though. I think it's a lifelong friend. And I think there are friends and there are friends. Right. And one of the great things that I've had during all the time that I have been out of college, and, you know, we both graduated in 1962, so we're talking about 42 years ago. And that's not just having John as a friend, but having him as a lifelong friend. Right. And that's, I think, meant as much to me as any relationship, and I know it has, of any relationship that I've ever had with a person.
There you go. You on, Coach?
Yes, sir.
All right.
Another bluegill.
Yeah, oh, come on, you're killing me.
Hunting and fishing are a long way from nuclear physics, and you don't have to put tremendous concentration in what you're doing. If you miss a shot on a quail or you lose a fish, it's not the end of anything. And so you have an opportunity to really think about other things while you're hunting and fishing. And I've probably come up with some things that have been pretty good ideas from time to time. There we go.
All right, all right, all right. There you go.
Good.
That's a nice fish. Good job, man. Good job.
Let me hold it. Let me just.
An end to a great day on the water, and a reminder to Coach Knight of the bonds shared in the out of doors.
We have a great feel, I think, for each other, and that's been the thing that has, and we always have a good time. We have a great time, and our boys have had a good time with one another too. They've grown up as friends. It just has been the greatest relationship that I've had in my lifetime, and you know, how else would two guys from two small towns in Ohio be able eventually to be with the world's greatest fishermen? And here we are with you.
From the shores of Maine and across America, sportsmen are united in discovery. This is one story, a moment in a lifelong friendship on the New American Sportsman.
This has been a presentation of ESPN, the worldwide leader in sports. Become a better outdoorsman. Log on to ESPNOutdoors.com.